I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Maybe put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. Ain't give a F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn 8 stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a Akita. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque o no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe.
Welcome in, episode 19 of the WAG Show. I'm your host, Ben Hostler. We are here to talk Thursday night football, Eagles-Vikings. It is September 14th, 2023. Hopefully you guys had a good day yesterday, and hopefully we have a good day tonight. So we're just going to go through the game a little bit. I have the live trend tool pulled up right now. We can talk betting for this. We can talk DFS, whatever you guys got. If you have any questions, go ahead, ask in the chat. I've gone back and forth on this game a little bit. I think initially, I think the Eagles are going to win the game. Initially, I was leaning more towards like that Vikings +7, +6.5. Then I kind of flipped back and was more interested in the Eagles, but I can't decide. I'm not going to probably take a side in this game. I would lean over on the total. If you guys can see here on the trends tool, the total open for this game at 48.5. There are more kind of tickets on the over. It's slight, but it is trending up a little bit. I don't know. I think that there's a good chance that this could be a little shootout here. If you guys remember, these two teams played in primetime early last season, and the Eagles dominated. I think they won 24-7 off the top of my head. I think this game could be more of a shootout. I am a little bit concerned that Kirk Cousins will be missing his center. Christian Darrisaw's banged up as well. I think Darrisaw's going to play, though. If Darrisaw's out in addition to their center, then that would change things for me pretty handily. But I think Darrisaw is going to play, so they're going to be down a center. But the Eagles are missing some key guys in the secondary as well. So I think that's a factor. Jen Joseph, how's it going? How do you see the rush split between Swift and Penny? Yeah, so we'll talk about that. But I've gone back and forth. I do think that this could be a shootout, though. That's kind of my initial lean here. I think that Philly is going to want to put points up here at home after what went on last week. I mean, last week they really didn't do much offensively. I know Devonta Smith had a touchdown. They did not do much offensively at all. Like, they got bailed out by their defense. Darius Slay had an incredible pick six. They also recovered a fumble in that game. So I think the Eagles are going to want to put points up here. And with those guys out in the secondary, I do think Minnesota, if you guys look like, I think Minnesota got really unlucky last week. Minnesota was not a team I was very high on season-long outlook-wise, but they lost a game last week in which they outgained the Buccaneers in terms of total yardage and still lost the game. They had multiple turnovers on the Buccaneers' half of the field, which is pretty unlucky. And I don't think that will happen again. So I think Minnesota's going to put points up here, and I think Philly is as well. So I guess a shootout type game script is what I'm expecting here and what I'm hoping for. But I'm not going to be taking a side of the game. I would lean towards the over, I think, if I had to pick something. I'm just betting on the Superstar Boost. JJ and AJ each 40+ receiving yards at +100. So, all right, we'll kind of break it down here. Between Swift and Penny, I have no idea. I don't know anyone that claims they know. I don't know how you could know. I mean, there was comments from Nick Sirianni that Swift has to get more touches. There was like other comments from him. I have no idea. We know that all three are going to be active: DeAndre Swift, Rashad Penny, Boston Scott. I'm assuming that DeAndre Swift is going to be kind of the more lead back. And I think that's what most people are expecting. But again, we really just don't know. I have no idea. I wouldn't be shocked if Boston Scott gets some goal line work if they're on the goal line. But then at the same time, you also have to factor in that Jalen Hurts is a big factor on the goal line as well. But I wouldn't be shocked because he's been on the team the longest. I would not be shocked if Boston Scott mixes in around the goal line. I do think, like, projectability wise, you would have Boston Scott third in terms of fantasy output and playing time behind DeAndre Swift and Rashad Penny. If I had to rank it, it would be Swift, Penny, Scott. And I think Swift, they're all going to mix in, but I guess Swift, I think, would be my pick for lead back, but I honestly have no idea. It's a complete mystery. I think that Philly passing game is in a good spot here. I think Dallas Goedert in particular is in a good spot here. He didn't have any catches last week. That was some other comments from the coaching staff to the media was, we got to get Dallas Goedert going. So I think they could look to throw the ball early in this game, and then if they take a lead, then they'll be running it in the second half. But I like Dallas Goedert today. I like the Philly passing game. It's got a good FanDuel plugin. I would still rank Scott behind Swift and Penny personally. I don't know what his price is on FanDuel. I haven't looked, but I would have to make 5, 6, 7 teams before I considered putting Boston Scott in, I think. But I think Philly passing game's a good spot. And then, yeah, Madison, I'm a little bit lower on tonight prop-wise. I think you could take his under rushing yards. He could mix in as a receiver for sure, but not a super good matchup for him in terms of running the ball. Patriots backs did catch a lot of passes last week. Madison 15.5, Swift 16.5 receiving. It's really just tough for me. It'd be tough for me to bet on any Swift props other than you could take a stab on any of those guys to score a touchdown, Swift, Penny, or Scott. It would be tough for me to bet on their props other than that, though. Madison 15.5 receiving yards, probably I think I would be fine with. But rushing wise, lower on him, high on the Minnesota passing game tonight. I do like Kirk Cousins over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think TJ Hawkinson has obviously a really good matchup. I saw that like the most bet on player prop for tonight's game is TJ Hawkinson over 4.5 catches. I think you can bet his yardage. You can bet him to score a touchdown, but I mean, he caught 8 balls last week. He has the best matchup on paper of any of the Minnesota guys, even with Bradbury out. I mean, Phillies just hasn't been good against tight ends for quite some time. And that's kind of how they scheme their defense. So I think it's a good spot for Hawkinson here. And I think if I had to pick somebody for a touchdown, it would be TJ Hawkinson. I'm trying to see. I know Eagles-Lions played early last season. Let's see what Hawkins did. 438. I mean, that's kind of different though. Obviously, this was week 1 last year. I mean, it's different still. So I don't know. We'll see. Touchdown pick? Yeah, like I said, I think Hawkinson, if I had to pick one player for a touchdown, it would probably be Hawkinson or maybe Jalen Hurts. This is an underrated spot, I think, for Jalen Hurts to run the ball. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, I think, against Minnesota last year. They brought Brian Flores in to call the defense. And one thing about Brian Flores is he blitzes a ton. And I'm pretty sure Minnesota in week 1 was top 2, maybe the most blitz-heavy team defensively. And I think if you're blitzing a lot, that could be good for Jalen Hurts running the ball. So I think it's an underrated spot for Jalen Hurts to run the ball tonight. There's a boost for JJ and AJ to lead in most receiving yards at this trappy. Yeah, I would not. I don't typically bet stuff like that, but not a great spot. It's Justin Jefferson, so he can go off any single night. If there's anybody in the league that can go off at all any night, it's Justin Jefferson. But it's not the best matchup for him. And Matt has kind of been on this in our DFS videos a lot, but he's splits indoors, outdoors. All of his big games in his career have come indoors. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see what Jefferson did last game. It was 24-7, so I was right about that. I mean, he had 6 catches for 48 yards last year. Now, it was a little bit different situation, I think, because Philly's defense was healthy last year, specifically in the secondary. But, I mean, I'm going to have to assume that they try and just – I don't really I don't really worry about wide receiver cornerback matchup that much, especially when it's Justin Jefferson, but it is a factor. So, I don't know. That does seem kind of trappy. Jalen Hurts over touchdowns. Yeah, I think he's at 1.5 passing touchdowns too. I think that's fine. Probably don't mind that. I think it's a good spot. I think Philly's going to be very aggressive throwing the ball at the start of this game. If they build a lead, I think that's when they'll start running more. But yeah, I do think early on in this game they're going to be throwing a lot. So I could definitely see him having a couple passing touchdowns. I think A.J. Brown has a better individual matchup than Devonta Smith, so I would lean towards him for like DFS stuff. I also think Devonta Smith on DraftKings is going to be higher owned than A.J. Brown because he is significantly cheaper. So I would lean A.J. Brown, and I think he has a good matchup. But yeah, Jalen Hurts could definitely throw 2 passing touchdowns. I like Goddard and I like A.J. Brown tonight. First touchdown bet. I'll be honest with you guys. FanDuel, and it's not just FanDuel, it's all the books. But I mean, 3 years ago, you could get such good odds on guys for first touchdown score, and it's just not the case anymore. They nuke these odds so much, it's not even worth betting on half the time. If you just wanted my pick for first touchdown, I would probably take one of the tight ends, maybe Dallas Goedert. I think he's like 14-1 on FanDuel. That was the best odds I saw for him because I was kind of looking at it, but they nuke these odds so much, it's not even worth betting on anymore. It's actually crazy. I took the Vikings plus 6.5. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've really gone back and forth on it. Like I said, I'm not going to take any sides here, but Oliver 7.5 yards. He had 3 catches last week. Could be kind of noisy, but I don't know. I mean, they threw the ball so much last week, and they're probably going to be throwing it a lot this week as well. Philly, like we said, bad against tight ends, so I don't hate it. I don't hate 7.5 yards for Oliver. I did give out a same game parlay for free. If you guys have TikTok, go to the Bet Karma TikTok and look at the free same game parlay for tonight. We used our 50% boost on it, so we got it up over plus 700 odds. I'll tweet it out as well in a little bit, but you can head to the Bet Karma TikTok and find my same game parlay for tonight. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know we had there was some alternate lines in there. We had like Hawkinson touchdown, Hawkinson 40 plus yards, and then like I know there was some other stuff. So go check that out. Hopefully we hit that. I've posted a few college plays for this weekend. We'll talk more college football tomorrow. If you guys wanted to play for tonight's college slate, there is a couple games. I think you could maybe take a stab on Bethune-Cookman plus 53.5. That's a pretty big spread. I think you could maybe look at that, but not great games tonight. Not great games tonight. Like the Goddard first touchdown call, yeah. Yeah, 14-1 was I checked a couple books. 14-1 was the best odds that I found, but I feel like Goddard is, I don't know. It seems to me when the Eagles play in primetime, Dallas Goddard always scores a touchdown. I could be wrong on that, but that's what it feels like. Are you betting on Colorado this weekend? I do have a bet posted in that game for premium members, but I don't think I would touch them spread. It's pretty big. What is it? A couple 23.5, 24.5 or something. I don't know if I would bet that. I do think they'll win, but I do have a bet posted in that game. And it's not Colorado State either. I do have a bet on Colorado, but it's not the full game spread. Overall, I'll have a DFS article up here by 4:30-ish. So you guys go check that out, dfskarma.com, if you're playing Showdown tonight. We'll have some bets. I've already posted a sleeper slip for premium members for tonight. This could be the season for the Vikings, Chargers, 49ers, and KC coming up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. The Vikings were super lucky last year, and I just don't think they're going to be that lucky again. You guys know, if you watch the stream, I was heavy on the Packers. I think the Lions are really good, and I think the Packers are underrated. So the Vikings could come third in this division. But you guys can hop in the Discord if you have any further questions. I'll be in there all evening. I will have a DFS article up. We'll have DFS core plays up, dfskarma.com/pricing if you want to play Showdown tonight. And with that being said, good luck with your bets tonight, guys. I will be back tomorrow, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk college football. We'll talk NFL Week 2. Good luck tonight, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.